Well, and Mr. Beam's light is bright. That's all I have on in here. It shows me how ugly the ceiling is in here. My friend is in bed. He decided not to use his tent, so he's out here, decked out in the middle of the truck bed. Got all his gear over there in the bench. We got quite a bit of stuff inside here yet, but it's pretty cozy. We're tucked in nice. I'm laying in my bed. I've got my air mattress underneath me here. He's got my old boat mattress under him. And got my computer sitting here processing the latest video. Just got my little office here set up like home. Just thought I'd show you what it's like in here at night. It works. What do you think, Eric?
It works fine.
Yeah? I mean, it's better than laying out under the stars, especially if it rains.
Yep.
So anyway, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Well, how'd you do last night?
Oh, gee, it's cold. Oh, it's good. We've been doing good.
Actually, it wasn't cold last night, I don't think. I was out here in my t-shirt all night. I only just put my jacket on because when I wake up, I'm a little bit weaker.
Oh.
But, I'm surprised. I think it's warmer here than back home.
No, it was kind of warm out inside here. I was surprised myself.
Yeah, we had no heat last night. We didn't need heat last night. I was very surprised. Even in my RV back home, I have to run my propane heater at night because it's cold. And we're up high. So I'm going to have a look at what we did last night. This is, so now that we can see the mess, there's stuff scattered all over the place. There's things hanging out here.
Well, this is the night, what was it last night?
Huh?
Now this is what it looks like.
Yeah, look what it looks like afterwards. See, we got this up in the dark, and we got this big tarp up in the air. And so we have this outdoor camp area. I've got some poles and some ropes, and we actually used the branches of the tree to hold this up, so it's pretty cool. We've got all our gear outside so we could set up camp. Last night we had coffee here. We can straighten it out a little bit right now, but we just had to get bed set up last night. But it's pretty cool. I mean, if this was a true bug out situation, this would be our home. Eventually I'd work on putting up a tree shelter using trees and branches and reinforce this and improve on it, but in a true bug out scenario, you would have all the gear you'd need for survival for long term. I even had some scrap wood for building materials that happened to come along. Actually, that one piece there is my table, my folding table for inside. But this is home. This is my home now. Got the SilferFire Hunter going here so we can have our coffee this morning. Fire's burning nicely, so we're going to let that finish warming up, and we'll start heating up some water for our coffee. It started out warm and it's getting colder, oddly. It's funny, we got up and it was warm, all of a sudden it's getting colder. So now we got our jackets on and we're waiting for our coffee. I had to do a modification in order to, you can see my water starting to steam. The way this stove is designed for my experimentation, look at the flame underneath there. This stove has to have the top completely covered, and if you put a pot like this directly in there, the exhaust can't vent. And there is some serious heat coming out of that chimney pipe. I can't hold my hand over that right now. I don't know if I can get you to see the heat pouring out of there. But it's pure, clean, hot air pumping out of that thing right now. I don't know if you can see it. The only smoke is from my friend's fire, so. But that is really burning efficiently. Look at the flame coming out of there. And I had to cover the whole surface of this. So if you try to just put a pan or a pot down inside, it's not going to work, because the exhaust has to vent out through here. So I inverted a old frying pan in order to make this work. And soon I'll have my coffee boiling here nicely. Hey, can you come over here and hold this camera please just for a minute? I want to show them the flame when I remove this. This is going to be a two-handed project for me to open that up. Look at the flame coming out of there still. Watch you don't burn the camera. So soon we'll have a coffee going here in the middle of the forest. I'm totally amazed at the amount of flame you can get from a handful of twigs. Look at that fire raging inside there. It's incredible. Pot's getting hot. We'll have coffee soon. That's just amazing. That's just a handful of twigs. That's just, if you did that normally, that's called kindling for starting your fire. And this, I'm cooking. That is just incredible how much flame you get off a little bit of twigs. Well, water's boiling. Time to make my coffee. So that was a very nice success. It has some nice hot coffee for the cost of a handful of twigs that we found on the ground. Look at that super heated glow in there. That's just amazing. Look, there's no exhaust. Even with the pot removed, there's no exhaust. It's just super heated. Nice cup of coffee. Eric, cup of coffee for you?
Oh, thank you, sir.
Well, what do you think? Off-grid cooking.
Off-grid cooking. Well, we don't have milk. We're going through an ice. Sure you are.
Yeah, dry cereal because we have no milk.
I'm having
no refrigerator.
actually tomatoes with breakfast.
Yeah, actually the tomatoes are nice.
Oh.
Got my video uploading station here, plugged into my battery bank. I'm uploading the latest video. And, well, out in the middle of the forest with my survival camp. And it works. I've got my bedding hanging out to dry because all that was in my backpack. And the last time I actually went hiking with that pack was a couple years. Sadly, since my friend got married, and that was the end of that. Well, anyway, that stuff stinks. That's being aired out. And there's our camp, which may get tested as far as rainproofing here pretty soon. We've moved the truck to a more level, stable position. And this way there's this meadow here, and I have my solar panel in the meadow, and it is charging. The charge light is on. Over here my friend is chopping. He has gotten the idea. We went to town, and I took him into town. I took him to the hardware store, or the lumber yard I should say, and I researched online what you need for his foundation here, and we did the measurements this morning, and I helped him pick out all the wood, and it turned out to be too much. So now he's got the idea of building a log cabin. Now I'm all about helping people out and helping friends and stuff, but I've seen people building log cabins, and honestly, I don't have a lot of hope for this.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go as I go.
You're gonna try anyway. Well, anyway, just wanted to show you what's going on out here today. It's pretty dark, pretty gloomy. See, what we had hoped to accomplish today was he's got these cement pillars in the ground, and we were going to put the joists I don't know if that's the right word. Anyway, we were going to build the floor, and he was going to have a 20 by 20 little shed out here, cottage. We were going to build it by hand, but the wood is outrageous. It's just, forget it. So he's going to see if he can make a log cabin. We only have one axe, thankfully. So we'll see how this goes. We don't even have a hatchet. But anyway, I guess we can try it. See what happens. One day I might have to, but I don't know if you'll ever see me building a log cabin with an axe. I've seen it done. I've researched it for many years, and I've got books on it. But honestly, this is hard. I'm serious. He's been at this for a while, and I'm sure there's skill and technique to it too. But I want to watch this tree go down. And since it's an evergreen, we can eat the inner tree bark once it does come down. We'll fry that up on the biomass stove and see what that's like. The Indians used to take the tree bark, the inner tree bark, and peel it off in strips and fry it up and eat it. So I'm very interested in trying that. I never wanted to kill a tree myself, but since it's coming down, there it is. We have to peel the bark anyway. So, save my battery, but when that tree's coming down, I'll be hitting record again. It's gonna go. It's gonna go.
The branches are holding.
Oh, it's stuck. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. It doesn't want to go. Well, there's the tree. It's right where he's standing is where the base was, and we ended up pulling the tree this way to get it down. He's doing his own video over there, but there was learned something today. Of course, I've never cut a tree down the forest myself by hand. Always cut from the outside in, because all the branches up there were holding that thing up. It was a nightmare to get it down, and actually a little bit dangerous, but we got it. So yeah, always cut from the outside in. Otherwise, these pine trees, evergreens like this, got so many branches, that thing wasn't moving at all. Now we're going to knock off all the little branches. Hope that's propped up right there pretty well.
Thank you, Troy, for coming and helping me out.
Oh, this saw is in bad shape.
Yeah, it will do. Take your time.
Yeah. Oh, it's an old saw.
You see, the right tool for this is a similar axe.
Yeah, it's a skinning axe, right? I don't
It's
know
very
what to mean.
skinny and this wide. Look.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look at that nice, clean cut on the end there. Sorry, it's hard for me to record and work at the same time, so I keep my camera off. This camera doesn't have a good battery, but and it's the only one I brought out here. But Erick's skinning it while I'm doing the end cuts by hand, and he is determined we are going to make a log cabin. For better or for worse, this is it. Alright, let's do this.
You take the light side, I'll take the heavy side.
It's all about the same. It's a pretty even piece.
Huh?
Pretty even size. Ready? do it.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, looks good. Oh, this isn't heavy at all. Of course, I'm only balancing it. Got it? Alright, the screws are in the way.
No, we're going to put them in the hole.
Okay, we're going to have to drill it. I've got my drill with me, but I don't have my bits.
I got bits.
You got bits? We're good to go. We can drill holes in those things. We're going to do this. There is
Perfect. It's a little bit...
the first log.
Yep.
Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yep, we're going to have to put, we might need to balance it. This is a little low on this side and that side is high.
Yeah, well...
Or maybe that's because it's sitting on the screw.
I was looking online, yeah, it's sitting on the screw. I was looking online at how they used logs to do that, to balance them out. Just want to show a couple things I found at Walmart the other day. This is a plastic match holder. Was $1. Actually, I've had these 2 weeks now, I guess. Actually, oh, it's got a ferrocerium rod. It's mostly covered in glue, which is quite useless. But it's got a waterproof case. I bought it mostly for the waterproof case. It's got matches, waterproofed matches. A bunch of them actually. 25 matches, and oh, I guess that's your. It says include striker paper. I don't know if that's supposed to be your striker or if there's paper. No, there's paper inside. Oh yeah, the striker paper's inside. I just thought this was interesting. Yeah, there it is. It's covered in a plastic wrap. Well, that's cool. So that's a neat little survival addition to your bug out bag or whatever for $1. I mean, can't complain about that for $1. But it's also got the ferro rod on the bottom. So when your matches are gone, you still can get a good spark off the bottom of that, which I'm about to try in a minute here. Test this theory. But again, it's $1 for a waterproof case. Now I forgot to bring my survival knives with me. Funny, huh? Bug out scenario and I forgot my big survival knives. I wanted to see if this would fit in the handle of one of them. But I guess that'll be a project for another day. Well, anyway, that's why I got these, because that, and let me see if they'll strike, even though there's a it's got such a small thing on there. Let me see. Got a rough edge to my back of my Leatherman saw. Let me see if that strikes. Let me set my truck on fire. No, see, that's really lame that it's covered in glue. Oh look, there's a spark. It's covered in glue, which is dumb. There's a good spark. I hope that shows. Oh yeah, that flash is nice. Nice. So you can throw some sparks off that. So I mean, for $1, that's a nice deal. And if they ever get any more in stock, I'm gonna grab some more. Can't go wrong with that. Well, this is waterproof compartments, containers. Anybody that's got medications, there you go. Plus the matches are a good survival tool. And won't see me complaining about that. Now here's something else I got at Walmart the other day. This was 88 cents. And you might be like, why did you get a fire starter brick? Well, because for 88 cents, I figure I can take a chunk off of this and use it to start your fire with. If you've got wet conditions, because this is a putty, like, hope it's not harmful to hold, but that's a putty-like material. And my thinking is you probably don't need much of this at all to start your fire. Now I'm going to put this aside and come back to that in a minute here, because I was at the dollar store the other day and I got these Zippo type cigarette lighters, which, by the way, the flint alone throws a nice spark, and that alone is going to save your life. You know, for $1 to save your life, won't see me complain about that either. Alright, so I'm going to try these out. I've got some lighter fluid, which, by the way, is nearly impossible to open. I don't know how they expect you to open this stuff anymore. So I've got the lighter fluid. I'm going to soak this up. I'm going to try this out. Oops, I'm doing it wrong. It says lift to fill. I'm pouring right where it says lift to fill. How funny is that? And I'm pouring right on that spot. That's hilarious. Well, anyway, gotta fill this little guy up. I don't know how much you actually need. It's gonna take a while to soak into that wick. The only problem that I don't like about the Zippo style lighters is they do evaporate and lose their fluid with time. Okay, that's full now. I just saw the fluid coming up the other side. That's full. Alright. Now I gotta make sure I dry my hands before igniting. Or that would make a hilarious video for y'all, wouldn't it? Let me wipe my hands off. Alright. Flammables aside. Now, there, we've got ourselves a lighter. Alright. Now, I'm going to take you away from the truck bed. And let's go right here. Let's see. I'm thinking, let's say you've got some wet tinder, right? And you've got this Duraflame fire starter material. And you need to start a fire. My guess is this might help. And that's why I bought it. Break up some sticks here real quick. See if we can start ourselves a little tiny bonfire. I was thinking it might be a good idea to add the Duraflame to my survival pack for a cheat on wet days for starting a fire. I'm just breaking these up in no particular order real quick. Alright. Now, let's build ourselves a little pyramid fire here. Just see how this works out. Duraflame in the middle. Actually, I want him a little bit raised up so he can get some air. And put our twigs over him. So my idea, if the theory works, of course I'm working on an angled rock, doesn't help me at all. If my theory works out, this little thing will help me build a fire quicker for a survival situation. This is no fancy high-end fire. It's just a demonstration, and see if my theory is going to work. Anyway, of course my new lighter is leaking, not burning properly. Cheap. Of course it's a dollar store lighter. funny. Thing isn't burning out the right spot. There we go. Got the Duraflame igniting. See if this is going to work. There we go. Well, stuff burns. I mean, it does burn nice. It started easy. If I didn't have the cheap junk dollar store lighter, it was burning out the side instead of the wick. I'm actually just going to let that sit and see if it'll catch the tinder. This stuff burns hot. It's actually igniting the taller stuff without any problem. It's a pretty hot thing. Well, anyway, I think that experiment is a success, I would say. I've got a little bit of a fire started here. I am going to pause the camera for a minute because I know otherwise you'll be bored and skip ahead. But wow, look at that flame coming off of that. That is nice. Look at that flame. That's quite a flame. I like it. Got myself a fire. So I think this Duraflame log is going to be a part of my tinderbox. It certainly does start a fire. And it takes a tiny, tiny little pinch, as you just saw, to get a nice looking fire going. And it's still burning. That stuff is actually still burning at the core of this. It hasn't even completely all ignited yet. So there you have it. There's a another thing you can add to your emergency survival pack for fire starting. I'm getting away so I don't smoke my camera lens. It's coming after me. So I am not advertising Duraflame fire starter, but it's a perfect survival thing or perfect addition to your survival kit, I would say. Good for wet weather starting. I'm totally impressed with this solar panel. It's quite dark. It's actually after sundown, and this little solar panel, my little Kyocera 40-watt panel, is still putting out power. It's amazing. It's still charging my battery. That green light, there's two green lights. The one on the left shows that my batteries are charging. I can't believe it. That just surprises me totally. That in this darkness, you can see there's no sunlight. It's dark. And I've got, I don't know why the camera makes it look brighter than it is. Well, anyway, it's dark and I've got to charge. Quite impressed with that solar panel. Tonight's forest menu is going to be potato gnocchi. Forgive me if I don't say that right. It's not something I eat every day. With tomato sauce and some herbs and spices and a side dish of couscous. And this will be prepared on the SilferFire Hunter, which is right now warming up for us nicely. Nice pretty fire coming out of there. And when that's done, we'll start preparing our dinner. And tomorrow's dinner is going to be even more exciting, but we'll get to that tomorrow. Well, dinner is served. Well, will be in a minute. My couscous, good survival point for people. My couscous had been attacked by moths, and it's a very good thing to learn from. Make sure you rotate your food. Make sure that your stuff is fresh. Make sure nothing has eaten it, because our survival food was attacked by moths, and my meal for tonight was changed. I put some fish sauce in the potato, whatever you call them, things. But the SilferFire Hunter, I'm starting to really love this thing. Cooked up our dinner nicely, so we're going to have dinner now. Well, here we are, another night. Another night in the truck. It's actually early now. Let me see, what time is it? It's early tonight. It's only 9:30, but we're tucked in because there are a bunch of coyotes not far away. It's quite freaky. There are a whole mess of coyotes right here on the property. So we closed up totally for the night. And this is our only source of heat, is 2 oil lanterns, which, by the way, stink really badly. So I don't know if we'll be able to run them very long. I think I got cheap oil. But another thing, for true bug out situations, it's better to know your equipment. Now, I knew these stunk. I've had these around and I know they stink. I'm pretty sure it's the cheap oil I bought. But anyway, it's good to know your gear. It's good to know your limitations. It's good to know what you need for warmth, for what spaces. And 2 of these will help take the chill off, plus the 2 of our bodies in here. But to be totally honest, if it was really cold winter, we'd be suffering with this. This will just help take the chill off of the night. And with this little space that we have, it's not so bad. But you got to know your gear, and that's what this is about. This bug out trip is not only just to help my friend in his cabin, but to get to know my gear and refresh myself with all my stuff. And that's why I have a surplus of gear out here. But if I was to bug out and take everything that I'm going to need for the rest of my life, then I need to know what gear I'm going to need, what I can do without, and I need to use this stuff and practice it.